Hello, this is the BBC News with Fiona MacDonald. North Korea says it has test-fired a new tactical guided weapon, which it claims will increase the combat power of the army. It's the first weapons test since Mr Kim's summit in February with President Trump, which broke up without making any progress towards ending the North's nuclear programme. From Seoul, here's Laura Bicker.
When it comes to the kind of provocation, if that's what you call it, that North Korea has indeed done in the past, certainly this is very low-key by those standards. But it does pose a few questions and may, instead of provoking a large response, provoke thought in Washington, where talks between the United States and North Korea remain at a stalemate. Pyongyang being able to develop this kind of weapon while sanctions remain in place, it's kind of Pyongyang shrugging and going, well, pressure. What pressure?
Congressional Democrats in the United States have accused the Attorney General of attempting to spin the findings of the long-awaited Mueller report ahead of its publication later today. William Barr will hold a press conference before the redacted report is released to Congress. Leading Democrats accuse him of trying to protect President Trump. Here's David Willis.
This could be just the start of a long process of arguing over this whole report. Of course, the Democrats want the publication of this report in full with no redactions, and they have said they're willing to subpoena the Department of Justice, if necessary, in order to obtain it. And they also want evidence that was gathered by Robert Mueller preserved so that it can aid congressional inquiries that are likely to be ongoing now. So, rather than closing the book on this whole matter, this could be just the start of a new chapter in it, if you like.
Facebook says it has unintentionally uploaded the email contacts of 1.5 million new users since May 2016 without their knowledge or permission. Rob Price from Business Insider magazine in San Francisco broke the story.
About a week or so ago, the news broke that Facebook was asking some new users for their email passwords, which is in itself a security no-no. And Facebook's now admitted to us that it was, without then asking permission, going into people's email accounts and harvesting their contact books, then using that to feed its systems, learn more about people and target them with adverts without ever having asked for consent first.
In a statement, Facebook said the data was not shared with anyone and was being deleted. Police in India are voting in the second phase of the general election, the largest democratic exercise in the world. Nearly 160 million people across 12 states are eligible to vote in this wave. Some of the biggest Indian states are taking part. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's BJP is hoping for a second term in government. World News from the BBC. Boeing says it's making steady progress towards certifying a software update to its 737 MAX planes, which were grounded around the world after a crash in Ethiopia. In a video posted on Twitter, the chief executive of Boeing, Dennis Muilenburg, said the final test flight with the updated software had taken place on Wednesday. Officials in Pakistan say gunmen have shot dead at least 14 people, including off-duty security personnel, after hijacking a bus in the southwestern province of Baluchistan. Reports say more than 15 armed men stopped a vehicle on the coastal highway and, after checking the passengers' identity cards, forced some to disembark before opening fire. 2 people are reported to have escaped and are being treated in hospital. US scientists say they've developed a gene therapy using the virus HIV that can restore the immune systems of babies born without them. The scientists were able to correct a defective gene in 8 babies by introducing a healthy copy into their bone marrow cells. One of the authors of the study, Dr. Stephen Gottschalk, explains.
HIV is a very unique virus because it can infect cells which do not divide. And bone marrow cells in general divide very, very slowly. So we have to use a virus which has that capability.
The Jewish festival of Passover is to be celebrated at the Warsaw Ghetto for the first time in 76 years. 100 Jewish families from Israel, Europe and the United States are expected to gather at the site in Poland, which became a symbol of resistance to the Nazis during the Second World War. The ghetto was stormed by German troops on the eve of Passover in April 1943 to crush a Jewish uprising there. BBC News.